them in that box, and then after that, just rinse and repeat, right? Whereas Team Philippines, this is also a very active kind of roster. You got the Arlot that can just dive all the way deep. You also got the Akai that can heavy spin to prioritize in terms of these neutral objective advantages. But the Guinevere can also do the same. Spatial migration right into the Violet Requiem. You cannot activate the heavy spin. If you cannot activate the heavy spin, that will be a turtle given over side Team Singapore.
It's going to be a huge test for Singapore, and for Philippines, it is a last game to say goodbye in Sayonara and their time in Singapore over the AGQ as we jump into this first game between Philippines and Singapore. I like what Philippines has drafted for themselves. A lot of heavy CCs. You got the Final Slash, you got the Fatal Links, you've got the Bouncing Bombs, you got the Mystic Bombs, and you got the heavy spin to be able to disrupt, reposition, change the tides of battle. And for Singapore, they have to be a little bit scared. They're facing De La Cruz, who is such an absolutely great tempo setter.
Yeah, with that said, ladies and gents, game number 1 between Team Philippines and Team Singapore. Bellamy leading the charge though, doing decent amount of damage against Tobico.
A great aggression coming in from Bellamy so far, giving that reconnaissance duty. And this is not what you want to see when you're Philippines, especially for Pabico, getting forced all the way back. At the very least, he's able to clear up the first wave to get as much gold as they can before that recall actually happens.
Actually, I was expecting, you know, after Bellamy was able to do a little, decent chunk of damage, lick it right off the back on De La Cruz.
Yep, great little bit of a fear factor from Singapore to push them out, and Philippines really understands how far Khalid as well as Guinevere would go in the early game. In the bottom side, though, I don't think it would be too much of an issue. We typically see the Yuzhong clearing the wave, joining in this team fights, joining in the aggression in the jungle. Bellamy still on reconnaissance duty. They know where De La Cruz is, so Singapore are trying to play around De La Cruz.
It's a very slow-paced game, even coming from the side of Team Philippines, right? You're expecting the Atlas and also Pabico to start rotating out of control, but maybe because of the Khalid, right? Over there, easily wave clear. Actually, even though it's also interesting that the mid lane is actually freezing the wave right there, trying to deny farm away from Pabico.
Yep. Expanding rivers, activated. Turtle spawns up in the next 5 seconds. The top side won't be too much of an issue. Pilas able to push Keith back for now. Typically, we won't see the marksman joining in the first turtle fight. Bellamy's in position. De La Cruz as well. The jungle doesn't want to show themselves. Nepomuceno right there, trying to push Bellamy back, taking a lot of damage, dealing a lot of damage. The utility comes in from Roy.
The problem is that if you notice, because of the Romans not really roaming, the Romans are a little bit awkward in terms of the levels. Fnatic into level 3 doesn't really have access to the Rage Sandstorm and also the Fatal Links, as well as Nepomuceno actually working on the turtle right now. Junjiang still not able to be found.
Bellamy at half health, will be able to heal everything back up. Black Dragon form already used up by Wee Lun, going straight to the back line. Petrify and Vox laid down low. Nepomuceno steals away the turtle from the Singapore's nose. The first blood going over to Venuya is still happy and healthy. Singapore doesn't want to push more.
The Barrier Recurrent was activated just to protect Roy, but unfortunately, you know, Venuya being Venuya was able to access all the way, picking up first, but he's going for more.
Great cutoff, great dash. Venuya, another kill onto Wee Lun.
Yeah, Venuya on this Arlot is just way too insane. I bet you, going into the MSC, you see Arlot permaban because of this dude. And as we take a look at this is the replay right here. Take a look at where Xinjiang is going. He's actually activating the Violet Requiem a little bit awkwardly, giving the turtle over the side of Nepomuceno.
Bellamy just really pushed so far off position. He was the first one to be taken down as well. But I want to understand, Singapore really set things up in motion first. There's a jump onto for Xinjiang. Sees immunity onto De La Cruz. One hit, Royburn will pick up that kill. Nepomuceno not really happy about this, but he won't push too further. At least Singapore has a kill on the board.
That's a roam for now, but at the very least, you know, it's Royburn who picked up that kill. Building towards the glowing one, but Nepomuceno is on the wrong side of the map.
He's trapped. They don't want to push it too far. There's a heavy spin already utilized. Getting pushed back. That's the box already laid down as well. Xinjiang trying to go for that chase. Nepomuceno, you can't chase him. He's too slippery.
The question is he trapped or are you trapped with Nepomuceno?
There was a great play coming up. Singapore always starting things off, but the damage isn't really coming through. And like you said, a little bit of miscommunication issue from that first turtle fight, which leads into this next one. Xinjiang
I think it's just, you know, a slow and steady pace, right? I think currently from the side of Team Singapore, there's no reason to really fight. Interesting pathing coming from Keith to basically start farming in the mid lane. That's what I did to you just now during our ranked games. And then Keith is going to go all the way back to farm. He's looking to scale towards the later parts of the game, but Pillars on this Bruno should be able to scale even faster as compared to Keith.
Oh, there's a stun for Jinxiang. No spatial migration for just a little bit. Singapore not in their best position. Balani giving that side, but he's in a little bit of an awkward spot. De La Cruz susses him out. That's the freeze. That's the little bit of a stuck up. No flicker. Ooh. That's the Raging Sandstorm, but the final splash with the final hit. And Venuia showing us who's boss. Black Dragon Form already laid down. Venuia down low. There's a turtle. Take it away, but Jinxiang, the Black Dragon Form will zone everyone out, but Pilas is in the midst. Is tailing the damage, and Philippines pushes back.
Onto Papico as well, the Blazing Duet, the damage will be able to be found, and also at the same time, Singapore will be able to take away the turtle, but it is still members of the side of Team Singapore taking casualties.
Underneath the turret is Venuia, another kill. De La Cruz coming off from the backside, Venuia still happy and healthy. McKeith will be down low, Nepomuceno coming in from the flank. That's the stun, that's the ball, that's the gush, and the laser seal the deal as Philippines dominating the early game.
Team Philippines seems like they're loving this dance. They're literally toying the food from the side of Team Singapore, right? There's a lot of times and opportunities from the side of Team Singapore to be able to end up the kill, and because of that, they overextend a little bit too much. And you know, for the side of Team Philippines, right, they take full advantage of that. You take a look, it's 1K gold lead as compared to its counterpart on Team Singapore.
I also like what Philippines is doing. They know that they're going to secure the kill onto Royven down the mid side earlier on. They left it for Pilas to pick it up. And now this Bruno also ditched the boots for a little bit more damage right from the get-go. 2 core items, Berserker's Fury and Hospitals. Let's break it down the bottom side. Keith really down low. They never saw Nepomuceno coming. Keith getting stunned up by the ball. That was just unfortunate. Bellamy trying to buy some time, but I think if it's a lost cause, we might as well just leave it.
I think it's just Team Singapore thinking there's almost a chance. It feels like Team Philippines was just dangling that carrot, and Team Singapore fell into that trap. I would say it's a mouse trap as well. If you notice, because of that whole rotation, holy moly, what happened? Because of one instant replay, we lost mid, we lost top, and we also lost bot as well.
Oh, the map looks kind of barren. It's only 6-minute mark. Singapore has to fight back. We learned gives a little bit more vision onto De La Cruz, but this is a tempo setter, a tempo-heavy team that Philippines is building up for themselves. And slowly but surely, Pilas is already online. Singapore cannot force an error.
Yeah, I think they forced a little bit too much. You're giving 10 kills over the side of Team Philippines, 6K gold lead, almost, right, 800 gold lead per minute. And it's only the third turtle right now. I think Team Singapore definitely needs a lot more time to grow. They need a lot, around like 7 more minutes in order for them to shine. But looking at how Team Philippines has been playing, I don't think they're going to give them a watch at all. Yeah,
that's a lot of hyper funnel. Look at Weelun, no damage at all to Nepomuceno. He's just taking it as a tickle.
It's just an uphill battle for Team Singapore, right? Keith.
Oh, Keith all alone. Able to use the PMI out, but it gets chased down. Purify also used up on all the way on the other side of the map. Weelun also making the mistakes. Stepped a little bit too close.
I think the Observer almost gonna follow Venuia because this man is just zapping around using the flicker and dash almost very quickly. Immediately, Keith got assassinated right there.
Philippines trying to make quick work. There's a concealed play, bursting the bubble as well. Singapore left in Barons. It's not even a Lord yet, and they're losing all their T2s. Jinxiang, no! Getting trapped underneath the jungle. Philippines capitalizing on all of Singapore's mistakes. It's 9K gold lead.
Quick, Churros, ask me why Jinxiang is there.
Why is Jinxiang there?
I don't know!
I think he's at the very least trying to take the turret down the bottom side. That's the Mystic Gush once again. Keith finds himself in a bad position. De La Cruz setting things up. He's got the fatal link. 2 members fold in.
Oh man, this is so painful to watch, especially for the side of Team Singapore. As Team Philippines was this record time, 8 minutes mark, and we already finished up the core. The minions are marching out though. Team Singapore desperately trying to hold to defend, but it's just Team Philippines making a speed run right here. They're hungry for dinner.
Minions coming in, Jinxiang falls, and Philippines will take game number 1. This is disappointing if you are a Singaporean. Fastest game that we had, biggest lead so far.
Or also the advancement, and then everybody eats a gourd laser. I think that's okay. There's a lot of long range coming out from Team Singapore. To be honest, this drive from the side of Singapore, even for game number 1, is not too shabby either. But I feel like going into the game, the execution is where, you know, it's Team Singapore looking up at, you know, Team Philippines, who's at the top of this group. And definitely needs a lot more support than this.
Well, you know, if you're an analyst, you're going to be saying, hey, Singapore has maybe a 0.01% of winning this game. But hey, it's in that 0.01%. The Singapore will go to work. This is game 2, Philippines versus Singapore. Will Singapore finally be able to take one game off, make a statement, or will Philippines steamroll over what was the fastest game that we've seen in game number 1?
I don't have the answer for that one. I need really have to see first. Whoa. A lot of pressure coming up from Papico right off the bat. Bellamy, I think, already activating the revitalize. Papico with the flicker.
Because the flicker, Jinxiang finding angle. De La Cruz also utilizing the flicker. The damage coming in from Philippines right from the get-go and targeting onto Royven is pretty much expected. You have so much mobility from De La Cruz's Cho as well. Relun there in the vicinity, getting locked up, stunned up. De La Cruz, no flicker as well. Does have the Shunpo, does have the dash, but Relun will not let him go.
First blood over the side of Relun already, so that's okay, but that's just, you know, early game for now. De La Cruz is just a Cho currently. It's just De La Cruz's fault for giving the first blood over the side of Team Singapore.
Yep, Relun able to keep Venuia at bay down the bottom side as well. It's 40 seconds until the first turtle spawns, which will be a true test for Team Singapore and how they handle the aggression coming in from Philippines and their team fight prowess. And for Singapore, I wouldn't count that out just yet. There was slivers of success. De La Cruz hiding and within that bush. Taking a look at this one, I think it's just a stunt, a good call. A good rotation from Relun.
But hold on a second, Churros, there's a main fight happening as well.
In the mid side, Bellamy taking a little bit too much damage. The spin will push Jinxiang back. The jungle won't fall. Pabico as well. The boxer actually takes down the mid lane. Lupa down low. Another one, Singapore showing signs of life in game number 2.
A bit of tempo that's sorely needed for the side of Team Singapore. Team Philippines taking 3 deaths, 3 casualties as well. And that's also even before the turtle as well. So which means that Team Singapore has a bit of a chance to go over to the turtle. And even Roy using Mr. Gush to try to finish.
The final slash, but Relun secures that turtle. Is down way too deep. Jinxiang loses his life. Relun will be able to dash out. He's got that level 4. Bellamy in too deep. Will be stunned up, locked up, slowed down, waiting for the Goon Squad to end his life.
Yeah, that's the Valir that's really scary, like, right? And Pabico on this Valir is just constantly stun locking the likes of Bellamy and the likes of, even to a certain extent, Jinxiang as well. So I think if you're Team Singapore, you have to be very careful. Don't forget, even though early game, heavy spin.
That's lockdown of Jinxiang. The rest of Goon Squad is right here. It's a 4-on-1. That's the collapse. As Philippines not happy about that team fight right before that turtle.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a sign of life that was given over to Team Singapore, but over the sudden Team Philippines, you know, wrestle that control all the way back for once. We don't really have a goal lead that's swinging in the favor of either side for now, but Team Philippines, you know, there is still the claw that's also scaling. Keith on the grandeur is also should be able to lane fully as well from far, and I really need to see a lot more coming out from Bellamy, right? Bellamy on this high velocity to lead the charge to basically stun lock, and then after that, providing Royven with the Mystic Gush.
Yeah, taking a look at itemizations. Looks like he is going for the Clock of Destiny first, at least a little bit of damage paired up with a sizable defense right in the early game, which is pretty much what they need. Singapore still staying healthy and staying on par with Philippines. A much better start for Singapore.
Yeah. Great start for now, but it seems like, you know, Team Philippines was able to stabilize that one. Looking to scale. We haven't seen Venuia really, you know, trying to find Relun as well, because Relun, you know, is a Paquito, does a lot of burst damage. It's something that Venuia must be a little bit careful. Jinxiang rolling, looking for a target to crash onto, but decides to back off.
It doesn't want to commit underneath that turret. That's way too risky. You have a pretty good lead. You want to risk yourself right before this turtle. We're starting things up. De La Cruz knows where Relun is. Jinxiang hiding himself. Bellamy takes the short side of the map. We're going to punish De La Cruz from coming in too deep, but he's a Cho. He will be able to skirt that out nicely. The red carpet lays down. Jinxiang find an angle. The turtle gets a reset. It's all in the plans. It's Philippines. Toys with them. That's Vinuya with the final slash, pushing them away. Mystic Gush will deal a lot of damage as Vinuya gets sealed down underground by Weilun.
But at the very least, that's a Paquito in the early game, right? Albeit the total completely forgotten by both of these two teams. But Team Singapore was able to at least get one kill all the way down for the side of Vinuya, trying to hold down the Arlot as Jinxiang picks up the second turtle.
It is in that 1.1% that Singapore will fight back. It's in that 1.1%. The Singapore still has that fight left. They're not going down without trying their best. This will be one of their last few games as Bellamy, no. He's in the wrong position, getting kicked back. He's slowed down. Bellamy delaying his death. The red carpet lays down, but a little bit too late. De La Cruz left all alone. Wolf skirt back out. Philippines just leading the charge underneath that turn, underneath the base, but on the back line, Weilun dealing a lot of damage. Mr. Gush comes in a little bit too late. Keep from back line, might be able to hit it. That is Weilun with the charge, with the jab, and with the flick of play.
Diablo.
Oh, Diablo still not on woods just yet. Nipomuceno will punish him for getting a little bit too deep. That's a mega kill from Nipomuceno. As Philippines leading the charge, you're not too happy about what Singapore has done to them.
At the very least, there's a bit of a trade coming in between both these two teams. To be honest, this is also Team Philippines playing a little bit weird as well, right? They're overcommitting a little bit too much over to the side of Team Singapore, but that's also because they're kind of expecting Royven on this guard to unleash the Mystic Gush earlier just now. Team Singapore literally gave Jinxiang and also Bellamy over to the side of Team Philippines, and now Team Singapore leading the siege up top.
Might be overextending though. Jinxiang makes a U-turn, take down that T1, getting out of there. Singapore got what they want. Philippines still on par, neck and neck with Singapore still.
Maybe they got the note from the producer, hey, too fast, game number 1. But of course, you know, game number 2 this time around, a lot more signs of life coming in. And this is a very awkward fight, right? Look at Royven's positioning.
Yep.
There's a lot of chance and opportunities for the fact that you can then use the Mystic Gush, but maybe because they're afraid and they're also waiting for Weilun to come in to land down the punch. And after that, you can see Weilun with the flicker punch at the same time will be able to find Papico's mark right there, pick up the killing spree, and now you got a Paquito that is slowly scaling.
That's beautiful. And also, you have Nipomuceno way too deep into enemy territory, and like you said, overextending on that one. They was not aware that Weilun was around the vicinity. De La Cruz heading deep into the jungles, into the purple buff area. Turtle getting pulled out by Philippines. Bellamy giving that vision play. Jinxiang ramping up for that spin, ramping up for that roll. Royven a little bit too late. No Mystic Gush for now, as Philippines ramping up the charge, just pushing in back. Bellamy will be the first to fall though. Slowed down, stunned up, but buy some time for Team Philippines. That's the final slash on the 3. Singapore is in shambles as Philippines runs over them.
Yeah, I would say it's just Vinuya running over there. The fight is not over yet.
Look at Weilun on the mid side. He's pushing in. He's buying some time for Singapore. He's got that fight.
This is a very awkward game. I'm pretty sure Coach Aeon also would not approve of this kind of messy brawls that Team Philippines is throwing at Team Singapore. But at the very least, you know, Coach Aeon is definitely going to have a little bit of identity crisis right now.
Yep. At the very least, though, Singapore trying to find trades. At the very least, Weilun does have that damage, but he is on a timer. The longer this game goes, Philippines is constantly going to scale up. They're not going to only have to deal with Papico, De La Cruz, and Vinuya. They're going to have to deal with a huge melting damage from Velas.
Yeah, I think it's just that, you know, Weilun is trying to find an angle to come in, but the Glorious Pathway is used to basically pull back and retreat.
Yep. At least he knows that bottom side. I can't believe that this wasn't a replay. I thought we've been here before, Jace.
Yeah, definitely, right?
Jinxiang, no. Oh, Weilun! With a 2-man hit up from that bottom side. Jinxiang's all left all alone right now. Nipomuceno already overextending, but it's 8 kills for the Sakai.
Look, if you want my expert analysis, I would say Weilun did a very good job earlier just now. You know, split pushing a little bit, put some pressure, put some flanks. So at least Weilun's doing a great job as a Paquito. But don't forget, Team Philippines is on SGP.
There's a reposition. Won't be able to chase that one up. Vinuya taking a lot of hits. Will be able to dash out. One more hit. The long and Vinuya gets out. The red carpet falls, but they don't want to chase it too much. They're going to push that situation. Pushing Bellamy all the way back. De La Cruz coming in. That's the kick. That's the jump. jump. That's the stun up. That's Keith with the kill on the De La Cruz.
The laser coming up from Roy and also Kiv land down the shot. I think more importantly is whether Keith actually holds on to the Sky Piercer, because that's going to be definitely a good stack coming in. And don't forget, we've been here before, even in AGQ, right? Yeah, thank you very much. Sky Piercer stack is already here, and you know, we've been here before. When the Granger starts rolling with Savages, and after that Maniacs, because of the Sky Piercer stack stacking up over and over again, yeah, this Granger may be a very scary Granger.
Pabico forced to use the flicker, forced to use the ultimate, no major resource already utilized. De La Cruz very deep in. On the back, Benuya finding an angle for a final slash. He's holding on to that one. Chinsen gets repositioned back all the way. No more boxing for this first Lord take. Singapore extended a little bit too far, Jace. Bellamy over next to fall. They keep slowing him down.
Yeah, and that's the power of Pabico and also the rest of the members from the side Team Philippines, right? It's just a constant slow roasting of Team Singapore, one after another on top of with Pabico and alongside with Pillars, of course, with the corrosive side already. There's nothing. Wait, he didn't even have it. My God.
For an extremely close fight where Singapore kind of won it out and equalized the economy line, Philippines constantly scaling up. We haven't seen Pilas actually fully committing with the Blazing Duet or any of these big damage moves. He does have the Holy Trinity. Let's take a look at the replay to see what actually went down.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, the overwhelming amount of damage that Pilas and also Benuya alongside with Nepomuceno. Nepomuceno is CC constantly stun locking onto Bellamy, and then after that it's just, you know, Royven already been a flicker. There's no way that the Gord, even though riding on a skateboard, you expect him to actually zoom, room, but he cannot actually run away.
What you can't run away from as well is the Lord marching from that top. It's Philippines trying to sync up that wave. Wilun trying to find any consolation that he can with the split pushes. And I think that is the strategy that he wants to go for. As Nepomuceno keeping the bottom side busy. Lord being chauffeured upon by 4 members of Philippines on that top side. The crash will land. That's the final slash onto 2. A little bit too close for comfort right there. So Rick up and gets laid down. But that's a lot of damage from Keith on the backside. Nepomuceno pushing everyone back out. That's the counter re-engage.
Great engage coming up for the side of Nepomuceno.
Gets caught out. Keith still staying happy, still staying fine. That's an 11-minute game. They still have the minions on the mid side.
Being cleared out by the side. Keith flickers forward. Okay, that's going to be a Sky Piercer. Pilas going in.
Pilas going in. He will seal the deal. That's the gold lane versus the gold standard. Philippines, they're pushing it in. Bellamy comes out, but there's nothing much that the Hylos can do. He's still got Royven though. Keith is still needed. 25 seconds to final slash once again. Jace.
Man, Benuya is finding all this final slash. It feels like, you know.
Missed the gush. Or laid down, Bellamy. Taking a lot of hits. There's Pilas, no minions, no problem. They still got another fat wave coming in. There's 3 members out for Singapore and Philippines showing their discipline, getting the heck out of there.
Well, Nepomuceno was actually rubbing his nose just now as he's playing. You can see, hey, I just need one hand. But jokes aside, right, it's just Team Singapore right now has 2 open bays that they need to defend from. And I feel like there's 2 or 3 times that Benuya was able to find amazing final slash. This is Exhibit B. This is the second one already, right?
Right?
Yeah, because don't forget, final slash, the cooldown is so short, and that's why Benuya was able to spam all across the board. And now with Keith right there, I think he definitely has to try to do something, right? Overcommitting over to that one, Pillars also flickering, also finding that kill as well. So yeah, being able to deny Keith from building up the Sky Piercer stack is something that Team Philippines is looking to do.
I think for Singapore, they're giving way too many free kills over the Philippines. And for Singapore though, Nepomuceno almost getting caught out. That's the jump by the Boxia. Philippines slowly pushing it in. They're 10k gold lead ahead. Singapore will not be able to contest for this. Lord will go over the hands of Philippines unless, you know, a miracle happens. But it's way too fast. Yep, that's the blitz. Philippines will pick that one up.
Yep, blitz it up very quickly. I would say it's a little bit difficult because definitely Team Philippines has already scaled, and now, okay, maybe this is a way they can do it.
A stun onto Nepomuceno, able to push Bellamy back. That's a counter re-engage. Philippines is so fast and so far ahead. There's the push back on the Whip Dragon. Bellamy gets caught out. He will be the sacrificial lamb once again. As Singapore on the defense. They cannot step foot out of this base.
Yeah, the missing guns is already used as well. Bellamy, the sacrificial lamb, given over side Team Philippines already. And now there's a lot of marching in. Wheeler trying to make a play right here, trying to look for a pickup.
Bottom side, but De La Cruz not too worried about this. He still has the immortality. Fabico taking a lot of shots from Keith. At the very least, Keith has that damage, but not a lot of defense. Bellamy's still out and about, still out of commission. That's the final step once again for Nuya. Not expecting that at all. The burn will take Keith out. No damage for Singapore. 3 members down. Philippines will take the charge over the throne and take down game number 2 without just taking out the rest of Singapore with them.
Yeah, GG well played over the side of Team Philippines and of course Team Singapore, right? Team Philippines, of course, first seed going up against the 8th seed, and you can start to see the gap between these two teams are huge. But of course, you know, GG well played, I would say. There are several times, especially at the start of the game, the early game, there are several signs of